everyone. Welcome back to Schwab. Phelan, you feeling good?
Not after watching that.
Having the Schwab party.
No.
Let's get this over with, Phelan.
Yeah. Everyone ready for the podcast of let's get this over with.
Let's get this over with. Okay, so first off, I want to mention a couple things that people were bringing up about the last episode.
No.
Which were very good points, because there were a lot of dumb things happen last episode as far as, like, continuity, like remembering what is going on in the show. Mm-hmm. So...
Well, you know, you're not supposed to remember anything that goes on in the show because the creator said you're a nerd or something.
Yeah, something. Whoever the guy showrunner is, there's like a husband and a wife, and like the guy, one of these days I'll learn their names. Anyway, he was like tweeting about like how people were like paying attention to every little detail and they don't enjoy TV shows that way or whatever. And it's like, fuck you. Fuck you if you don't care about the characters or the plot going on, because we're not talking about little details here. Like, the thing with, like, why was Mel surprised about the book that she gave Josefina? Okay, well, how about this? The week before, Jordan's curse was ended. That was the whole plot of that episode, and that was the whole reason that Maggie can't touch him.
Yeah.
That curse is over. So why is Macy acting like the curse is still on when Macy was with him? And if she does still remember, why didn't she tell Maggie about it? It's weird. This episode, there's no acknowledgement of that either. No one seems to remember that, like, that's over.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. It's the story. It's not just, like, little inane details. Like, if you don't give a shit, why should anyone who's watching?
You shouldn't be paying attention to the story.
Like, it's like you're being punished for remembering things.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, we forget a lot of stuff, but we remember at least basic parts of it where it's like, why is this not acknowledged at all? Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, I mean, we go over like an hour's worth of in the show a lot of the time, so there's a lot of problems to cover.
And we didn't even remember that part. Like, we should have brought it up last week. We didn't remember. But, like, the whole, like, Maggie acting like, even before they had their allergy taken away, she could have been with him. But Macy failed to let her know, hey, that thing's over with.
Yeah.
Jordan didn't let her know. No one let her know. Unless they didn't remember. But why would they not remember? I think, like, the writers don't talk to each other, or they don't keep track of these things. Like, that was the whole reason why they couldn't touch. But so they should be able to touch at this point. I don't know. I think that was like just a bungle
Maggie
on their
was
part.
Still, well, I don't know. Maggie's still being flip-floppy about which guy she wanted to choose.
Yeah, there is the flip-floppiness of it, but like, she was acting like she couldn't be with him because of the physical part of it, and she could.
Yeah, but she only kind of chooses in this episode who she apparently wants to be with. So she is probably just like stringing them along anyway.
That plot means nothing. They've had no scenes together in this entire season.
Mm-hmm.
It's all been over the phone, and it's been lukewarm. Okay, they had the scene where, like, she was asking him questions from the college thing. They had that scene together. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it's nothing. Like, why do we care about their relationship?
We don't.
Also, last week, I just want to ask, because someone else pointed this out, it was a good point. Why didn't Harry heal the old man or Antonio?
Didn't like
that old man that
much.
had the heart attack. And then Antonio's car wreck. Like, they could have had their cake and eaten it too.
No, he just didn't want to.
Like, why didn't he at least try? They could have said, like, oh, it didn't work for magical reasons. But they're just like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess we gotta reverse everything.
Yeah.
Maybe
stupid.
that was Antonio's miraculous recovery, but they could have done that before ending their allergy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just seem to act like it was because they put the thing back that he miraculously recovered those. But you know what? Who didn't get punished at all? Maggie. She still gets her internship.
Yeah, what up with that? She still gets her ill-gotten gains.
Load of shit.
Bullshit.
You must be kidding, aren't you?
Which brings us to the episode we watched tonight, Season 3, Episode 12, Spectral Healing. Phelan, I believe I read somewhere, someone correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's only 18 episodes this season. You know, there's only 6 left after this?
Good.
What has happened?
Nothing.
They found some monsters that could have been any monster of the week,
Mm-hmm.
killed them very easily, and then they've just been talking about the allergy and like just puttering around in a standstill.
Mm-hmm.
It's been the season of nothing.
We did get the perfectos, though.
The perfecti are here. The girls are not involved with any. They're just like, well, I guess they can take care of that and then go off and do their own shit.
Yeah, we only had the guy perfecto in this episode, though.
That's true. We only had Mo.
Yeah.
We had Mo and Les, whatever the other one was named. Alondra? Something with an A? Nikki! Hey, Nikki!
I found these letters hidden in the attic. Mom wrote to our future selves.
All right, Phelan, you want to jump into this episode?
Yeah.
All right, so we open up with Abigail in the Tomb of Chaos.
Actually, it's not.
Ugh, forgot that was the opening. This is going to be very samey for all of her scenes. There is a glass of scotch. This seems to be symbolic of something. I think it's just supposed to be signaling the loop. There's like the loops that they go through.
She keeps yelling at the tomb. She's not going to drink the scotch. She throws it away and it smashes on its back, and her mom tries to make her drink the scotch. It's like, I don't understand this big significance of her drinking a glass of scotch.
Maybe it's just supposed to be like her giving in, to the illusion of the whole thing.
I guess so, but it's stupid.
It almost makes it seem like she's like a recovering alcoholic or something, the way that they frame this.
That's what it came off to me, is like, did she have a drinking problem or something?
I don't know. She's pretty pissed off at this, so she smashes the alcohol and it reappears, and she says, "Dear God, this is hell." Nothing's happened yet. It's just her looking at
a
reappearing
glass of scotch. Hell!
Yeah. This is hell.
Really takes nothing to get her on a frizzy.
Yeah, she folded faster than Maggie in Tartarus. I'll tell you everything! Anyway, Macy is in the attic. She's doing science to try and cure her allergy, but that's really just sort of like to begin the scene. Like, it's not really like, it's just sort of acknowledging that they're still sort of doing something.
It's to remember she does science, I guess, but it's not really part of the plot. It'd be nice if this was a part of the plot. I'd like to see a plot about her doing science.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was fine seeing her do that. It didn't really go anywhere. It was just sort of like a means to get to the discovery with the crate.
This episode could have not happened, really.
This whole show could not happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so she gets mad because this science is failing. So she throws some books in anger and then finds this like container that has a bunch of letters from their mom in it. So
one of the dumb Marisol notes says like, "Oh, if you ever can't get close to each other, blah blah blah." Like, "Oh, Mom must have knew something about the stupid infection."
Yeah, they were giving their mom a little too much credit.
Yeah, as we find out.
So, meanwhile, we got Maggie and Antonio at school, and we find out they both got the internship. But I mean, okay, it's stupid that Maggie got it anyway, her ill-gotten gains.
And we saw how damaged he was from his almost life-threatening injuries.
Yeah.
And I tell you, not even a sling. Nothing.
Yeah. Well, you better hope that it was Harry healing him off screen, because otherwise, what the fuck was that all about?
You think the actor even knew that his character supposedly almost died the episode before this?
He's like watching the season and he's like, did that happen?
Yeah.
What?
Was it some injury? I didn't know that.
Oh, alright. I would have worked it into my character.
So stupid. Just casual coffee time at safe
Remember when I asked what my motivations are and then you didn't tell me any of this?
They must have rushed him out of the hospital too. Actually, you made it, so get out of here.
What? I mean, I guess,
Not expected to survive.
I guess, like, we didn't give enough credit to Professor Sexus, because we thought that he took the internship back after giving it to Maggie, but apparently he was like, shit, I can't just take it back now that, like, Antonio's out of the hospital. I don't know. You share it? You both get it? I guess.
Yeah. Maggie gets her crap.
Yeah.
No one else does.
No one else. So Antonio is, he wants to buy her a coffee. And Maggie is like, because gender normative rules says the guy has to pay? They're not even on a date. Maybe you could apply that to if they were on a date, but like if you were just studying together with a fellow student, the guy has to pay. It doesn't make any sense. And then they do the clunkiest product placement I think the show has had so far. Antonio pays for the coffee with a Chime credit card and the Chime app.
Yeah. Like, it seemed weird to me. It's like they have to be plugging something because it shows a big close-up of his credit card and then shows the notification on his phone, what he paid and stuff. It's just like,
I've never heard of this. It sounds fake. So that's why I was like, oh, is this part of the plot? Or is it? No, it's just, they just zoomed in on it and like showed it so that for product placement.
Yeah, it shines like an online financial institution or something. Like it's not really a bank or some crap. I don't know.
Yeah. It's something that will quickly be forgotten. But it will live on in infamy. In Charmed. Where two people saw the episode, you and me.
Yeah. We're like, why are they focusing on that?
It's just gonna be people going, like, what? And then like, and then never picking up the Chime app or doing anything with it. This got no sales.
Yeah.
Oh, Antonio used it on Charmed. I think I need to get on that Chime thing. And then Swan's like, yeah, do you know you can buy Gushers with Chime?
Then we see Swan peeking over their chair. Does make an appearance in this episode.
Oh my god, the return of Swan. I was just asking too. I was like, where's Swan been this whole time? When she's off screen, people should be asking, where's Swan?
Yeah, the most important Charmed character.
During this conversation, Antonio and Maggie start talking about their exes. And Antonio's like, well, I mean, that ex sounds like they suck, but if you're single now, maybe we could get together. Are you single? And Maggie's like, I don't know. And then she has another vision of them getting intimate, and it's like, this seems lukewarm at best, this attraction to Antonio.
It's a garbage story.
This is like worse than like when Phoebe would have visions about Dex in the city. Terrible. So Maggie is like, I don't know, I gotta get out of here. Something about dental surgery or something. She runs away.
Maggie
leaves
needs
her wallet.
braces. Dental plan.
Maggie needs a Chime. Dental plan. So she runs away and she leaves her wallet and presumably her Chime card behind.
Yeah. And then Antonio's like, get me 50 coffees. Ding, 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 ding.
Oh my god, Antonio, you monster. Who the fuck is Antonio? He started out as like a douchebag and now he's just like some generic hot guy. They say he's a hot guy. He's aight. But like, he's so underdeveloped. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Phelan, what's your opinion vis-a-vis Antonio hotness levels?
2.5.
Out of what? It's important. Out of 5 or 10?
10,000.
Anyway, so Harry's talking to the guy Perfecti, Mo. They throw in a lot of information here. I could not follow it very well at all. So Harry is continuing his plotline from last week. He says he's going to try and become mortal now so he can grow old and die with Macy. And he's like, hey, so are you sure I only have 6 days to decide if I want to be mortal or not? And the Perfecti's like, yeah, according to this codex you gave me. And he's like, what?
Why the hell did you do that?
How does he what? He found a codex of some sort and they gave him the codex? And then, like, Mo's like, yeah, I can, you to do this, like, I can't just take your powers away again, because it was only temporary last time. It doesn't give you mortality, but this thing can be permanent if you get the soul of an heir of you to donate part of their soul or something or other.
It sounds first, like, he doesn't say part of a soul till a bit into this conversation, so it just sounds like he wants him to Shang Tsung someone and steal their soul.
Yeah.
And Harry's just kind of like, yeah, okay, I guess that sounds all right. Steal their soul, yeah.
Yeah, what? And this is a real Daryl situation, isn't it? When they, like, borrowed his soul without asking. They're like, yeah, you could just take someone's soul all willy-nilly.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't give a shit. And then, like, they say it has to be a male heir of his. So he's gonna go find his son to take his soul, and he has no problem with this? Not any, even, like, a little bit of, like, I don't know, is this morally right?
Yeah.
Not even like, oh, I don't know if I can see my son, it'll hurt too much, or anything, like, nothing. Just a blank space.
Yeah, I think a question, even when the Perfecto says, like, it's a part of the soul or whatever, like, you give them soul softening pills and prick them with a needle and get some
oh no. Don't bury the lead here with the soul softeners. Don't bury the lead. They have fucking soul softeners.
Yeah, it's so stupid. Soul softening pills.
Soul softeners. He takes his hand and he does this little hummy thing like, wah! And then soul softeners appear in Harry's hand, and they're little pink pills, and he's like, these are soul softeners. So you give them to your son and they'll loosen his soul so you can borrow it.
Yeah. Well, he does clarify eventually that it's a part of it, but you should still be worried about what that might do to someone.
No, he's not worried in the slightest. Like, Harry just seems straight up evil lately.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't care.
I'll just soul-softening pill him, like, I'll drug him without his knowledge, steal a part of his soul, and I got mine, screw him.
See, I would have thought that this was part of, like, oh, because he killed the evil Jimmy, then he's like, he's only got half a soul now, so he's kind of soulless or something. But then, like, Macy doesn't care, Mel doesn't care, nobody cares.
Nah.
He's going to borrow someone's soul.
Macy doesn't even care enough about this plot to go with Harry.
Yeah, he's usually her assigned person, so real switch up on the teams there.
Like, the other time Harry went to England, it was Mel who went with him. This is apparently a recurring thing.
She's his England buddy.
Yeah.
I think it was just because they wanted Macy to have that moment with her plot later, so they had to have a reason why
which
she's
was
there.
Garbage. But like, it was very flimsy. Like, it doesn't make any sense, like, within their reality that Macy wouldn't go with him.
Yeah.
I mean, it did give us a different dynamic, at least. Though, like I said, we have seen Harry and Mel go to England together before.
This was like the less good version of that too, because that one was more interesting than this.
Yeah. No, this was garbage. This is like a bunch of filler plots collide the episode.
Nothing means anything on this show. Nobody cares about anything. And I mean, like, the people in the show, the characters, the people making the show, like, they don't care.
Mm-hmm. Well, this episode was complete waste of time. Spoilers.
Nothing really matters. Anyone can see.
All right. So Mo sings a contract up, or I don't know, just some sort of, like, I guess it's a contract.
Why the 6-day thing? Like, it just seems arbitrary out of nowhere, just like to give them a
the
time
codex.
limit.
The random codex said it.
Yeah, some like, since when? Was this always this time limit counting down? Just happened to be 6 days by the time you checked it? Like, 6 days from what?
I don't know what this codex is. I don't know what any of that's about. No one seems to think it's that urgent.
Yeah.
Nothing really. And Harry gave up on the soul thing, so I guess they'll do something else. I don't know.
Yeah, they could have at least given it some, like, some semblance of sense by saying, like, since he killed Jimmy, this gives him a time limit on this thing or something.
Did we even see either of them on screen when that 6-day limit was set, or was that something added in ADR later because of whatever they want to do with this plot?
I think they talk about it when they're in England too. Like, I think Harry says that to Mel.
Okay. Because I wouldn't be surprised if it was something they added. They're like, I don't know, we need a time crunch or something.
Well, I mean, that's all it comes off as anyways. It's like, let's put a time crunch on that.
All right, well, when Mo sings this contract up, he's like, read the fine print on here.
Harry does not.
He does not. He's like, if you become mortal and after those 6 days, like, and you don't reverse it, it's forever? Is that what he's saying?
No, he says, like, if you do it, you're stuck that way.
Oh, so just, if you do it, period, you're mortal forever.
Yeah. He just has 6 days to do this for whatever reason.
All right. Well, that's the time crunch. So, Mel and Ruby are at Safe Space. They're social distancing, and they're pretty bummed about not being able to do it. And Ruby's like, "Yeah, that sucks. I guess I'm gonna return this new lingerie."
Yeah.
And you pointed out, like, she's never gonna wear it then?
Yeah. Well, can't use it this weekend, so never get to see it.
Like, it'll hold.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go bad.
Perishable goods.
This whole Ruby thing, too, we haven't seen her in forever. Like, last week they pulled a Ruby's with her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I feel like there was more chemistry going on before, and now it feels weird.
Yeah, it feels very awkward.
It feels ho-hum.
And, like, they're professing their love for each other later, and it feels very flat.
Yeah, like, I feel like I bought it more before. I don't know. Maybe because everyone's kind of done, or they haven't seen each other for a while, or the social distancing makes it harder to try. I don't know.
If she was more of a regular presence on the show, they might have some better chemistry with each other.
Yeah, Ruby doesn't get anything to do now. All right, so we have the girls in the kitchen. Macy brings out the letters. She gives them to Mel and Maggie. One of them says that it's for when they just can't be together, when they're feeling apart or something like that. So they think that this has to do with the allergy.
Marisol being smart.
Yeah, they thought Marisol had some sort of premonition about this or something. But the letter, the text in it kind of fades out at the end. So they're like,
you gotta buy them all quick. $5, get out of here.
She's like, I don't know. I gotta go drinking with Celeste. And they're like, well, we can figure this out with time. And then Harry's like, that's my cue for a cliched line. Time is the one thing I don't have.
They just look at him and like...
Yep. And they're like, even he points this out. All of them are kind of like, hey, this is kind of dumb, huh? Like, if you become mortal, you can't heal us, and there might be some consequences to this that we don't know about, and this is all kind of a terrible idea, right? And they're like, oh, well, we're gonna do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, for whatever reason, they agree on Mel going with Harry to England to see his son.
They pull straws, and she pulls the short one.
Boom. So Maggie and Macy are talking about the Harry thing, and they start talking about relationships, and Macy's like, you still having visions of Antonio's abs? And Maggie's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on with this relationship situation, and Jordan's kind of ghosting me. It's like, excuse you, you've been the one not talking to him, don't even.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, and Macy's like, ghosting? That gives me an idea of how we can talk to Mom.
Never thought of this before. Let's ring her ghost up.
In England, Mel and Harry are there, and oops, his son is dead.
Wow, wow. And man, like, the sheer reaction from Harry's insane. He goes, that's kind of a bummer.
He has barely any reaction to this. That's his son.
Yeah.
That was the whole reason he, like, when he was mortal, like, before he died, didn't he go to prison because he was doing stuff for his son or something? Like, wasn't it a big deal to him?
Yeah, I think he was trying to help his family or something.
But, like...
now he's just oh, shucks. Well, guess the plan's off.
Harry with his heart so cold.
Guess that mortal thing isn't going to work out either. Oh well.
this is so flat. This should mean something.
Yeah.
Like, I was just gobsmacked at this whole thing because, like, this would be a good plot if anyone cared.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, his son died, and that's also a reminder of his mortality. That's the whole reason he wants to, or his not mortality. That's the whole reason he wants to be mortal, to be with Macy. Shouldn't that also tie into that? But it feels like this was just some random schmo.
Yeah. It's so poorly done. And I think there's a more interesting idea to be done here, too, if his son is still alive. Because, like, we didn't get much interaction with them before.
Yeah.
But like you said, there is an interesting dynamic there, too, though, of his son having died and him wanting mortality.
Yeah, like, they didn't put 2 and 2 together with this story that could have been, like, something, and instead it was nothing. Absolute waste of screen time.
Yeah, like, that could even give him pause. Like, you know, like, I've just lost a son. I don't know. There's a lot of thoughts that can be brought up regarding that.
Yeah.
And they are not. Instead, it's just like, well, that's a bummer.
Oh, well.
Cheerio, then.
All right, back with Maggie and Macy. They're in the attic, summoning Mom using that chest that they found the letters in.
You know, I was thinking, it's like, we haven't had enough Mama Soul. She's so great.
They just now thought of summoning their mom's ghost. Like, this is something you could do super easy. Like, This is just like the old show, though, where it's just like, yeah, it's a bummer about Mom being dead. Oh, now Mom and Grandma Ghost are just around all the time.
Yeah, if we
just
start
summon them
getting
for whatever.
that, like, oh, that's gonna be bad.
So while they're doing this, some smoke hits Maggie, and she's possessed.
And she does dumb Phoebe baby voice.
Oh yeah, she does. Did they? I feel like they pitched up her voice.
I think
for
they
that.
did.
They pitched up her voice for the one ghost and then down for the other.
But it's kind of like Phoebe baby voice.
It is very Phoebe baby voice. She's channeling some Phoebe here. She's possessed by 2 spirits, and one of the spirits
possessed by 2 time wasters.
Everything's a time waster. The high pitched voice spirit yells at Macy, hits her with a sonar or whatever, and then like and then she falls over. She goes like, ah! She like
flies up to her nest.
Ah! And then Macy falls over, is knocked out, so that they can have like yet another shot of someone waking up. This show loves shots of people waking up on the floor, don't they?
People get knocked out.
People get knocked out a lot. So Macy wakes up and she hears some music. She goes downstairs and Maggie's wearing sunglasses, painting her fingernails, acting like a little brat.
Yeah, she got really far. She went downstairs.
Yeah. These ghosts don't have a lot of goals or purpose. Mm-hmm. She introduces herself as Daisy and she asks for a beer. She's like, "Give me a beer, toots." And but then she turns into someone else and has a deep voice, and she's like, no, because she's also possessed by Daisy's dad. Yeah. I don't think he even gets a name. He's just Daisy's dad.
Yeah, I think. No,
Dad
I
Daisy?
think he does say his name at some point to Macy.
Ghost Dad?
Says something about being a car salesman.
Right, yeah. Because guys like trucks.
Yeah. Really ironic since a car killed them.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like drunk drivers and ghosts trying to sell trucks.
He's like, and I sold the person the car that killed us.
Oh my god. Macy's like, hey, this is dumb. I'm gonna go try and unpossess you. See ya. Meanwhile, Abigail and a drink and her mom shows up. That's all I wrote for that scene.
That's all that happens. It's not important. But I do want to bring up, though, like, both Abigail and Jordan were, in the tomb at the end of the last episode, and that's, like, the big ending dun 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 moment.
Yeah.
We don't see Jordan once in this episode.
No! Credit only. Not even credit only. Just uncredit, nothing.
He died, I guess.
Don't see Jordan one time.
So you can't do that. Like, I know they don't use everyone every episode, but it's like, you can't be like, oh, he's in this big thing, and then be like, you don't see him.
I'm going to call it, when they find them in the Tomb of Chaos, they're going to find Jordan is going to be all like feral and amnesia and stuff like the Tomb of Chaos. And then Maggie's going to like talk to him about love and stuff and then bring him back. And then that'll be their relationship rekindled.
No, that sounds gross.
That's how it's going to happen. You're not going to see anything of what Jordan's doing. They're just going to find him and maybe his like fro is a little unkempt. And then like Maggie will be like, love was my true power.
This find him stuck on a toilet and he's like, I've been shitting this entire time.
Oh my god. Yeah, so Macy is like looking into what happened, what went wrong with the spell, and it turns out it was to summon the spirit of the first person who owned the object that they enchanted. So the first people that owned that box was Daisy and her dad.
Old Marisol bought it at a yard sale. Got him again.
Surely the first owner was like whoever made it, right? If you're gonna go that far back.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I guess.
How far back do you go with the ownership?
I don't know.
Okay, so at the wake for Harry's son that he doesn't care about, there's a little boy bitching at a lady about chocolates.
I want some more. More?
I want a chocolate egg now!
That's when she drops him into the furnace.
I just kept thinking of Matilda this whole time with like the chocolates aren't for little boys, and then like put him in the little case or whatever with the needles in it or the nails.
Right.
Then when he's like eating all the chocolate later, like the little boy that's just eating cake. Anyway, this woman is Harry's granddaughter, Jill. And the little boy, Jill sandwich. And little boy's mad at her, is like, you're not my real mom, and he's related in some way. Everything's terribly complicated with the family relations in this episode. And Harry's like, oh, well, now that my son's dead, I guess I'm gonna go. But wait, the soul softeners. And then, like, I guess the little boy pickpocketed him and
yeah, that's apparently what happened.
Soul? Like, he was just going around looking in people's pockets for candy?
Yeah, because he didn't get enough chocolate.
How would he, like, this is like 2 seconds between when we see him on screen and when they find out the soul softeners are gone, and he was just running around reaching into people's pockets hoping candy was in there? Like,
apparently.
What is going on?
I don't
What is happening in England? Is this what's always going on? There's always like little pickpockets running around looking for sweets?
Mm-hmm. Like,
I thought they were buttons!
Like, hey, strawberry flavored soul softeners.
I don't know.
Well, what do you know? It's not every day you see the stupidest thing you've ever seen.
The next scene, Abigail and mommy issues. Next scene, Maggie and Macy are in the kitchen making sandwiches. Macy's like, I gotta find out how to help you cross over. Give me that sandwich. You can't have the sandwich till you help me figure out how to make you cross over.
The show's so stupid.
If they find out these are substandard sandwiches, it's right up there with a Baywatch plot at this point.
Oh, that also involved Jill. Questionable sandwiches.
Right. Oh my god, it all comes together. This is when things get dumber. Antonio knocks on the door and just walks inside. He's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Thought I'd just come in.
Macy, left your wallet. I found your address on your cards. I'm breaking in.
Yeah, this break-in sponsored by Chime. So he's like, hey, I got your wallet. And possessed Maggie shows up, and she's like, yeah, I'll totally go out with you. And her dad is like, you can't date until you're 18, and then blasts Antonio into unconsciousness.
Yeah. Knocked out again.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
So at the wake, Mel finds Jill's missing earring. She's just looking on the floor, I guess, for the soul softeners, and she finds an earring, and then Jill's like, hey, thanks. And here is my dear wife.
Yeah.
And then her wife is like, hello, dear wife.
My wife and I are robots. Hello, wife. It is acceptable to see you. Yes, it is, wife. We are married.
They pull a Brooklyn Nine-Nine, shake hands.
Yeah.
Hello, wife. How are you, wife? I am good, wife. Doing wifey things? Wifily, wife. I will wife wifily over here. Wifington.
Wow, that sure was a clunky way to tell me you two are married.
The show thought this was so progressive. They thought this was so cool that they threw this in there, right? But it felt almost like Russell T Davies level of like LGBT represent. It was very weird.
It was clunky, and it's also like, for no reason, apparently really tells Mel something like, oh yeah, I've really got to be honest with Ruby because I saw another couple together.
Yeah, it's just so Mel can see parallels with her and Ruby, and the only parallels there are gay.
Yeah, there's nothing.
That'd be like if you just see another straight couple and you're like, that reminds me of us because straight.
Like said, like, oh man, yeah, we have some issues sometimes, but we're together. Or something. It's like, yeah, wow. Sometimes couples have issues and they get past it and stay together. Wow.
Yeah,
Stunning
this is about as good as Phoebe's love advice.
Yeah. Tell them you love them, stupid. Ask Phoebe.
They do drop in some important plot related stuff. They say that the bratty kid is related to them via affair. So he is actually like in Harry's line, like he's his grandson or his great grandson. What is he to him?
Yeah, he'd be his grandson.
Is he like the brother of Jill?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's stepbrother or whatever.
So he had an old dad?
Half-brother.
Half-brother? What was the relation here?
Yeah, because his son cheated and had that kid with some neighbor woman.
Oh, okay. Half-brother. Right. All right. So he had a very old dad.
Yeah.
Because he died of old age, right? There wasn't like anything
as far as
nefarious
we know.
here.
Yeah.
Or any sort of underlying thing. He was just old. The last time we saw him, he was old.
Yeah. I mean, he could have had some health issue, I guess. We don't know.
He had a philandering old son who had a little bastard who steals candy out of people's pockets.
Mm-hmm.
and a daughter who loves her dear wife, wifily Wifington. And his dad was an immortal who had a evil half who was wandering around being a florist at one point. What a weird family. What a weird family this is.
Sounds like a sitcom.
Anyway, so yeah, they're like, oh, this kid actually is related, so his soul's there for the taking.
Ate the pills.
Yeah, his soul's there for the taking. It's fine.
Did they get a piece of his soul?
I don't think they did. I think they gave up, unless I'm missing something.
Yeah, I was super unclear on whether they actually accomplished it or not.
I think they just gave up because they didn't follow up on what happened.
Yeah. I don't know, just Harry comes in and talking about like wanting to be mortal later.
Yeah, if he was mortal, he would have said it.
I would think. I don't know, unless they still have to wait longer for that. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. If this worked and he uses part of his grandson's soul for what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
They don't just get a piece though. They have like the whole thing out, I guess, because his grandson's like a little demon child.
Yeah. She Mel goes to tell Harry this, like, good news. You can use his soul. And then they find the grandson with demon eyes and ears. He looks like Ratboy or something.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Dear sweet Ratboy.
Dear sweet Ratboy. It's about as fun as that movie Ratboy. Melancholy. Because he's got personality.
Like Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz. Anyway, he's eating a bunch of cake like that kid in Matilda. Just stuffing his face full of cake.
This is
Why
insane.
did they have a bunch of cake at the wake? This was like a party, was it?
Yeah.
Like they're like, get a bunch of cake and chocolates and let's have a grand time at the wake.
Yeah, this was like the secondary room with a bunch of food, because there was the main room has a bunch of food in it too, and then they have more food
they
over there.
They cram this place, like, because I get at a wake you might have like some food and stuff,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't think like, oh, here's a like condolence cake, sorry about the death and all. Let's have a party.
They were celebrating. No one liked him. But, like, I don't understand how no one at this wake, like, sees a little demon child running around forever.
No one notices anything. This is very weird. The next scene, Abigail and her mom get along. But then Abigail's like, this is a trick. And then they have some weird framing where the mom's like falling off screen. Like it's just a bizarre shot.
Yeah, it looks like a shot where some action's going to happen and then she'll fill the frame properly, but that never comes.
The next shot, she kind of goes forward a little bit. I think she was just a little bit off of her mark. And then they kept that shot in because that's what they had filmed.
That's really sloppy.
It was sloppy. So we find out a little bit about her history. I've been skimming over this because I really, truly do not care. But here's what we found out. Her mom tried to get rid of her demon side all her life because she almost killed her sister with demon flames. And she also kept Abigail in a crate. She put her in a crate when she was being bad.
Yeah. I wish she was around still so Abigail would have been in a crate for most of the series.
It's great. Is that anything?
Yeah.
Abigail drinks the scotch that her mom's offering her, and I guess that means something. And then she puts her in the crate, and she's like, "Mommy, no!"
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Macy is talking to Maggie, possessed Maggie, who is crying on the bed about that whole can't date people situation. And she gives her whole story. She wanted to go to the prom, but her dad didn't approve of the guy, and so he took her home, and while they were driving, they got hit by a drunk driver and died. Turns out her dad was sad about their mom dying, so that's why he was disapproving all these relationships. So she forgives him, and now he can move on. So the dad has moved on.
Yeah, Macy gives a really crappy speech. Sometimes you need to let go and let them live life, blah, 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 generic. Oh, yeah.
Dear wife.
Boy. Yeah, dear wife.
I love you, wife. Anyway, Harry and Mel are looking for the bratty kid's missing soul. After eating cake and stuff, it'll want revenge. It's something about satiating its hunger. So first it's literal hunger, and then it's like metaphorical hunger. It hungers for revenge.
By the way, like, they said there was a bunch of side effects with these pills as they were going into the house. Like, and one of them is like diarrhea and hair loss. So it's like a kid gonna like shit himself and lose his hair.
He was shitting all over the wake.
Because Harry's like, I better only give him one. And this little brat chugged them all.
He was leaving little rat pellets all around the coffin. and the kid, when he gets his soul back, he's like, milk duds. So they're like, well, who does he want revenge on? Well, he was mad at Jill, so he's gonna go after her. And then they find the gremlin kid going after her. Mm-hmm. I guess he's sneaking around like he's gonna do it, because no one notices this at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they think he's gonna do it, but what he really did was ring up Dr. Shark.
Dun, dun, dun! Meanwhile, Macy's like, I got a plan for Daisy moving on. Hey, Antonio. Hey, yeah, you tripped on a floorboard. You flipped over. You did a full 360. You knocked yourself out. Anyway, I know how to help with this situation. And then she starts playing Time After Time.
Yeah, then Maggie slowly walks down the stairway.
Yeah, possessed Maggie comes down the stairs in a prom outfit. She's gonna have her prom. And, like, if I were Antonio, I'd be like, what the fuck? No. And then leave.
Yeah.
Why does he's like, all right. Like,
he starts dancing with her. Yeah, that'd be like your cue to get the hell out of there as quick as possible. Like, I was knocked out and then suddenly this is happening. No.
This writing is as dumb as original Charmed. I will give them that. This is true to form for Charmed.
Yeah.
And he's like, he thinks he's dreaming. He's like, this dream's epic. Is that an epic dream for you? You dance with Maggie in a shitty prom dress while Time After Time plays on an iPod?
Yeah. As like her sister just stands there in the corner holding it like, Dance with her. Yeah. The
audio quality wouldn't even be as nice as it was. Like, it was on her phone, I guess. Yeah. Like, it would have been a little bit tinny. She's not using a Zune. It's a little better than that.
Macy got it from the crappiest source possible. She didn't want to pay for it.
It's an iZune.
It's like a recording of a recording of a recording.
Yeah. She downloaded off of Napster. So Daisy's able to move on. She leaves Maggie, and Antonio's like, what the fuck are ghosts? And then they knock him out again.
Like, I think he's gonna brain damage. You're like, oh well, we don't care about him.
Holy shit. Do not care. So Macy and Maggie go to the attic to talk while Antonio's unconscious.
Yeah, they even casually bring that. He's unconscious on the floor right now.
Whatever. They're like, hey, I wonder why everything we do always goes back to square one. It's because the show fucking sucks. That's why. They got a fucking reset button. Never move forward with anything.
Because their one idea was like, they call Marisol's ghost, and like, how'd we waste enough time for that to fill an episode? I know, other people come first.
I guess. Yeah, so that's when Mom actually shows up. Ghost Mama Sol shows up, and she possesses Maggie so that they can do a voice cameo and not have the actress come in.
Yeah. Very obvious.
The next scene, the bratty kid, Georgie, I think was his name.
Giorgio.
Rufio. He tries to kill Jill, and Harry stops him. No one notices.
Yeah, Mel like uses her magic rope and is like tying him up and is like, and all this is just going on in the corner of a filled room and no one's looking at it.
Yeah, I'm glad Josefina gave them a magic rope and then went off to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
What a great character.
What a great arc. Quite a story.
What a great 3-episode arc that was.
What a story.
Forget it! I'm not doing it! This episode was badly written!
Back with Marisol and Macy. Marisol's like, yeah, I don't know why you guys jumped to that conclusion. Like, the letter was just about, like, fighting. Sometimes you fight.
Get this, Macy. I have some generic as shit stuff to tell you about love and other horse shit.
She said all of her lines like she was doing another narration for the pilot. You know, like, she said some lines and, like, left a letter for them or whatever, just so, like... Or I think she had, like, a scene with them or something, but she was saying it so they could do a soundbite.
Yeah.
Like, nothing is more powerful than your sisterhood. Da-da-da-da-da, love and blee-blee-blee.
She says nothing of any real worth.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point? They're like, man, I wish we hadn't wasted our time calling you.
Yeah, it was nothing. Macy's like, hey, well, I got you here. So Harry wants to be mortal, my boyfriend. How about that? And then Marisol's like, cool. Anyway, tell your sisters I love them. You too, I guess. Peace out. Bye.
Tell Macy to listen to her heart. And like one of the themes of this episode was just useless speeches.
Yeah, this was just a bunch of like useless platitudes.
Mm-hmm. Like garbage. Tell them something useful if you're gonna bother coming. Stupid Marisol. Marisol had a lot of apologizing to do to Macy as well, and she just kind of goes, you know I love you so bad.
More like useless platitudes. So her ghost comes out, and then, like, some stuff gets dubbed in when her mouth isn't visible.
Yeah, because it's just reused footage they had of her.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but, like, you were saying it was probably just reused from, like, before, and I guess that makes sense, because they never show her speaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just put, like, the ghost effect on it and stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, she turns around all surprised, but then she looks happy, so I don't know what this footage was from. Maybe it was outtakes or something from when they were shooting?
Yeah, either alternate takes or, stuff like that. And then they used to use, I don't know why she's surprised. It made me think it's like almost when she got thrown out the window at the beginning, but might be from
ghost
something
gets
else.
Blasted out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she fades out. The end for her story. Mel and Harry have the kid tied up with Josefina's magic rope, and Harry's like, hey, it's alright to be sad because you lost whatever my son was to you, and he's like, cool. So his soul comes back. They have like a moment, but it's not really a moment. It feels flat.
Yeah, it's not much. And then he's like, hey, thank you, Uncle Harry. It's like, whoa, let's not go that far, kid.
I don't want to be related to you.
It takes nothing, apparently, for this kid to call you uncle.
Jill shows up so they can all have a moment. The end there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Antonio is leaving, and he's like, hey, sorry for falling asleep in the chair. And Maggie's like, it's all right. Sorry about the concussion. And Maggie's like, yeah, now that you have a concussion and all that, I can't go out with you. Actually, I want to be with Jordan. I'm pretty sure on this one now. And then I wrote, will Macy tell her the curse is over? Only time will tell. Macy and Harry are somewhere. I don't remember where they were. Harry walks over to her, and he starts giving this whole long speech about how he wants a full life with her. He wants to have kids and birthdays and all the big moments and stuff. This seemed like it was setting up a proposal.
Yeah.
And then it didn't. It just ended. Like,
yeah. Though I was thinking it'd be funny if he went through all that speech and then Macy just kind of, I don't want kids, Harry.
The way she reacted was like something was wrong, and then it wasn't, and then like he's like, what were you going to say? And she's like, that
same
whatever.
Thing, bro.
Same thing. Yeah,
pound it.
It was very strange. Like, I don't know. Then they go to Mel and Ruby, and they're having the same scene basically. They're having all the post wrap ups, and Mel's like, hey, I saw Jill and her wife reminded me of us because, they were gay. So I love you. And then Ruby's like, yeah, I love you too. And I guess that was a big moment.
Well, first Ruby just sits there doing nothing. And she's like, well, it's like, yeah, I love you too. It's just taking in the moment.
It was bad. It was really bad. And like, when I didn't realize they hadn't said I love you to each other, and then like, when Mel was saying they reminded her of them, like, I thought she was gonna propose then. I'm like, oh, they psyched us out on that one, then like Mel's gonna propose to Ruby?
No.
Because they were married? And then no. It was just weird, and then it ended. Meanwhile, Maggie goes to Jordan's gym. And he's not there, and Swan exists again. Swan's there to say whatever line, because she exists only in this space.
She's like, Jordan's been missing for days and never called in or anything. I thought it was a little weird, but then I was like, I don't care about Jordan.
She's like, yeah, I think he went off with some hot chick named Abigail or something.
She gets the name wrong. She does throw out Allison first.
Oh my god, Allison, confused for Abigail? The ultimate insult.
The subtitles spelled it the same way as you do.
Oh my god. The right way.
Yeah.
That's how you spell Allison. Maggie goes to Abigail's. I wrote Abigail's. She has the gall.
She has the gall to disappear and leave a symbol on the floor.
Ugh. She finds the symbols of the Tomb of Chaos on the floor, so she figures out what's going on. We cut to Abigail. She's let out of her crate and then takes a drink of scotch, and then I guess we care.
It goes, that meant something. Dun, dun, dun.
Yep. Phelan!
Mm-hmm.
Who is your Margoyle?
It's none other than Marisol!
Whoa!
I hate Marisol so much. Flames on the side of my face.
Why is she the standout loser to you this episode, other than generic hate?
She was useless. Like, a big part of this episode was, oh, we gotta call Marisol. It's gonna be so important. Then they finally get to her and she has fuck all to say.
You came from the afterlife for this? Why'd you even bother?
Yes.
Mom, you suck.
You're gonna come in here and give us this generic-ass speech. I'd rather you didn't come. Thanks.
Why wasn't that a big deal? Macy couldn't even see her for most of her life, and they didn't even acknowledge that. Nothing.
No. Like I said earlier, Marisol has a lot of apologizing to do to Macy, and like she never bothered. It's like, I could have at least rung you up on the phone if I couldn't see you, and I never bothered with that either. I'm the worst.
The thing is, I'm intensely stupid.
Yeah. I have nothing to offer you at all. No one who might know anything. I don't try to help. I just go, oh yeah, well, you should love each other, you and Harry, and you tell Maggie that she should love herself or something, because she certainly has a problem with loving herself, doesn't she? Who is your Margoyle?
My Margoyle is Harry.
Yeah.
He was gonna sell out his family, steal their souls, did not care about Ratboy at all. Was gonna give soul softeners. He's like, nothing suspicious about this. Thanks, Mo, for the soul softeners.
Yeah.
He was like an idiot, and like, he seems sinister.
Mm-hmm.
And if I was Macy, I'd be a little bit mad after that speech and then no proposal. Like, he seemed like he was setting it up.
Yeah.
And then nothing.
Harry was my second choice, but I just really wanted to give it to Marisol.
How many chances do you get to give it to Marisol? She ain't around as much as she used to be. If it was season 1, it could be any episode. You're like, Marisol,
couldn't
why
get
is
rid
she
of her
here?
back then.
Sum up your thoughts, Phelan, on this episode.
It feels like a bunch of useless filler episodes collide and barely anything happens. It's a waste of time.
There were parts I enjoyed laughing at, but it's few and far between. I'm over it. I'm just over it.
Charming over it.
Charming over. Let's wrap this up, Phelan. All right, if you enjoyed our podcast more than we've been enjoying Charmed, appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, or reviewed wherever you're enjoying this podcast on. You can find us in audio form wherever you find podcasts, particularly Anchor.fm under Charmed Hard with a Vengeance or Charmed Rewind. You can find us on YouTube under youtube.com/Movie Nights the Series or youtube.com/Phelas. You can support our shows on Patreon, see things early, or take part in polls, all sorts of stuff at patreon.com/movie nights and patreon.com/Phelas. Thanks to Peter Hunter for editing the podcast for us. You can find him on Twitter at PretorHunter. What hashtags?
Hashtag sweet soul softener pills.
Hashtag useless platitudes.
Hashtag no one cares about Abigail.
Hashtag it's great. That's it, Charmanders. We'll see you next time.